That's that we talking. Cause I ain't never drunk, that's the blunt. Roll a blunt, cause I want what you want. What's the move for the night? Cause I'm slime, where we going?
What's the move for the night? Tell me what's your plate. You say you gotta leave, but I know you wanna stay.
Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. If you guys can see by the title, it's going to be a Valentine Day / a review on ilmakiage products. If you guys are not already subscribed to my channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know each and every time that I upload a new video. And if you would like to know how I achieve this Valentine's Day look, make sure you guys keep on watching. By the title, you guys already know what time it is. So I was going to do like a soft glam look, and I'm like, okay, whatever. Valentine's Day is right around the corner, so might as well go ahead and do a Valentine's Day look. And the product that I wanted to show you guys was by ilmakiage. I kept seeing this for a while, and I was like, okay, you know, whatever. I'm just gonna stick to what I know. And I was like, okay, it kept popping up. I'm like, let's try it. I received my package in the mail on the 7th, and before that, I was trying to return it way before ahead of time because I've seen a lot of people had like a lot of mixed emotions about the product. A lot of people were saying that they were really good, and somebody that I saw from their review, they was like it was making their skin itch. It has like a perfume smell. So I'm like, okay. I tried to cancel it because of that review. It made me kind of like on the edge and uncomfortable, but they wouldn't cancel it. So it was like, hey, you know, try it for 14 days. If you don't like it, then you can return it. And I'm like, okay, well, let's just give it a try to see how we like it. So now I'm gonna open it up with you guys. It comes inside this box, ilmakiage, New York. In the inside, this is how it looks. It has the little paper of where they're from, the delivery, ilmakiage, one quantity. This is the box. This is how it looks. And when you open it up, it comes in a little thing like this. This actually reminds me of Anastasia Beverly Hills, their foundations that they had launched a while back. So now since I did my eyebrows off camera, I'm gonna go ahead and moisturize, and I'm gonna go ahead and prime my face. I'm gonna start by using an oil-free moisturizer, and this is by Neutrogena. And I'm gonna start by using my Milk Hydro Boost just to prime my face. Excuse me, not feeling well today. So now I'm gonna go ahead and do a little color correcting. I'm gonna be actually using 2 shades. I'm gonna be using drugstore brand, and I'm gonna be using NARS. I'm gonna start off with the HD concealer. If you see me looking to the side, it's because I'm looking inside of my mirror. And I'm gonna start by color correcting the high pigmentation that I have on my face due to my phone actually. I'm gonna go ahead and color correct here, and as well as my forehead. I'm gonna take the creamy concealer and I'm gonna do around my mouth, on both sides, a little under my eyes. And I'm gonna take my damp beauty blender. I'm gonna go ahead and blend that out. I'm gonna go back and forth between my hand for my beauty blender because I feel like my hand blends out way better because I get to just dab that product in there instead of just having the wet beauty blender just remove some of that product when I need to use majority of all of it. And then I'm gonna take the beauty blender and I'm gonna blend out that concealer up under the eyes and around my mouth. And now I'm done blending that concealer out. I'm gonna go ahead in with the Revolution translucent powder, and I'm gonna go ahead and set over my primer and everything that I just concealed. I'm gonna take this black beauty blender and go ahead and set my whole face with powder, so that way my concealer will not move. So now after we're done setting our concealer, we're gonna go ahead and start off with our foundation. Yes, you guessed it right, we're using our ilmakiage foundation. We're gonna see how this works. So I'm really excited that this comes with a pump, because when I actually bought my NARS, it did not come with a pump at all. And I'm gonna go ahead and put 2 pumps. And they say that this foundation is actually buildable, where you can actually build the foundation up to your liking. And you can either go for full coverage, you can go for a more lighter. So far, it has like a chemical smell to it. So far, it's actually blending really good, actually. I'm really shocked. And this is the first time I actually found a foundation that is my color. Yes! Something I could never do. I've tried NARS, I tried Estee Lauder, I've tried Tarte, but I tried a lot of foundations and they were either too yellow, they were too golden, they were too olivey. So this is actually beautiful. This is beautiful. So now with the other side, I'm gonna go ahead and use the beauty blender on the other side just to see if I can get the same effect. It's kind of a little watery. I'm used to using foundations that are on a thicker side. So far with the beauty blender, it's not as full coverage as using the brush. So I don't know if you can actually see that. On this side, it's more like a sheer, more like skin, versus this side is more like full coverage. And for my high pigmentation, I'm looking for more like a full coverage to cover up my scars and also my acne scars as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and take 2 more pumps and I'm gonna go over this side again so that way it give me like a full coverage like on this side. And I'm gonna take probably 1 more pump. I'm gonna do 1 more pump and see how that goes and apply that. So far with that 1 pump, so I got coverage. So now I'm gonna go ahead and start concealing. And I'm gonna be using my Born This Way Multi-Sculpting Concealer, and this is in the shade Chestnut. Alrighty, I'm gonna apply a little here, apply a little here, 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 my forehead, my 5 head, and down the center of my nose. Now I'm gonna go ahead and blend that out with my beauty blender. And then I'm gonna go ahead and take the same foundation brush that I used, and I'm gonna go ahead and blend that out just a little. And now I'm gonna go ahead and use my Born This Way Multi-Sculpting Concealer, and we're gonna do a little contouring, and this is in the shade Cocoa. I like to do my little 3 dots here, 2 dots here, 3 dots, 2, 3. And I'm gonna take my beauty sponge and I'm gonna go ahead and start blending that out. I like to work fast with this because for some reason this dries down really fast. So I don't like to just sit on it too long. Then you can actually start seeing the lines and everything from where it begins and where it ends. And I'm gonna also go ahead and start contouring my nose. Just a little bit on both sides. And take my angle brush and start contouring that. And I'm gonna go ahead and brush that into my brow. Don't get me wrong, I love to look beat. Brush that into the other brow. And brush it down a little bit. You guessed it right, my foundation brush. And soften that up a bit. Now I'm gonna take my Revolution Banana Powder and I'm gonna go ahead and set all of this concealer that I just used. Take my other beauty blender. This one I use for setting my powders. I'm gonna go ahead and do under the eyes. Other side. Here. My chin and my forehead. And down my nose. I don't want to bake for too long, so now I'm going to go ahead and take my Cover FX Minimal Press Powder, and I'm going to go ahead and take a brush, and I'm going to set that contour that we did for the cheeks. And I'm gonna go ahead and take my fluffy brush, and number 1 by BH Cosmetics, and I'm gonna go ahead and dust all of that powder away. Now I'm gonna move to the eyeshadows, but before I do that, I'm gonna take a little bit of that powder and I'm gonna put it underneath my eye. So that way I can catch any fallout if necessary. So I'm gonna be using the James Charles palette in Mini. And I'm gonna be using this shade, well actually, I'm gonna use this shade here, and it's called Love That. And I'm gonna go ahead and apply that to the outer corner. I'm gonna brush that into my brow. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side. I actually didn't use I use my concealer as my base instead of using a eyeshadow primer. Go around and brush that inside of the eyebrow. And I'm gonna go ahead and dip inside this Jackie Aina palette. And I'm gonna be using the color Supreme. And I'm gonna go ahead and use that at the top to blend that color out just so it won't be too harsh. I'm gonna go ahead and move to the other side. So now I'm gonna go ahead and dip back into the James Charles palette. We're gonna be using these two colors here, right here, which is Sister and Literally. And I'm gonna go ahead and mix the two and apply that to the inner lid. And I'm gonna go ahead and take my brush and I'm gonna just dust all the excess powder away. And I'm gonna go ahead and take that first shade that I applied for my crease color, and I'm gonna go ahead and apply that under the bottom of my lash line. And I'm gonna take that same pink color that I used, and I'm gonna go ahead and soften that bottom up. Okay, now after doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and pop my lashes on off camera and I'll come back with the rest. I'm gonna go ahead and take my Tarte mascara and apply that to the bottom and the top of my eyelashes. So now I'm gonna go ahead and take my eyeliner by Kiss, and this is in white, and I'm gonna go ahead and apply that to my waterline. Oh, that is gorgeous. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side. So now I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my Estee Lauder blush, and this is gonna be in the shade Plum Affair. Very gorgeous color. And the brush that I'm gonna be using is my Morphe brush. I'm gonna take a little bit of that and apply that to the cheeks. And also the other side. And next I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my Artist Couture and Illuminati. I can never get enough of this highlighter. I don't think I've ever picked up another highlighter ever since. And go ahead and apply a little of that here. A little of that here. A little of that on my chin. A little of that on my forehead. The tip of my nose and down the center of my nose. I'm gonna do a little highlighting here. And also here. And under my brow bone. So I went ahead and I took off my little cap and I changed in something more suitable for the occasion. And we're gonna go ahead and take our brown pencil liner and we're gonna go ahead and line our lips. So now I'm gonna go ahead and use two colors, and one is gonna be like a nude and the other one is like a pinky nude. I'm gonna go ahead and apply the pink, like the pinkish one first. And on top of that one, I'm gonna go ahead and add the nude. Okay, now I'm gonna take a little setting spray and we're gonna go ahead and spray that. And go ahead and let that dry.